Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
So, last month, how many people were in ARIA in Chicago? Okay, so I'm blessed because I grew up in Wales, but I still consider Hawaii home. I lived there very informative years of my life. When I moved when I was 23, I lived there for 12 years. I have a Hawaii Social Security number. My best friend lives on Maui. And when we were in Chicago, we had a really incredible plea by one of the leaders of ARIA in Hawaii about how we can help. And each chapter of ARIA was challenged to raise $5,000 towards Maui relief. I used to go party in Lahaina every Halloween. That's the place to go. Hawaiians are so passionate about the history and everything that they have. That fire took away things that can never come back. But one thing that we can do, the same way as they have shown hospitality towards us through their whole entire existence, is that we can show that charity back to them. So for the Ventura chapter, I took on the challenge that if you make a donation, minimum donation of $20, I will give you a free gift, which is my hot sauce. And I stand by it because it's good. And I'm pretty sure that quite a few of you tried it over the past few days, because I saw that the Tapatio stayed full and my bottles were getting empty. And there's one testimony right there, she liked it so much, I bought 5 of them.
Actually, you need to give me one more.
So here's the deal, is like I have today 15 more bottles, and I would like to go home with none of them. And all you gotta do is, you see that little squiggly thing right there, is to either Venmo or Zelle, or what's the Zelle? Yeah, minimum please, $20. Our goal is to raise 5,000. I said I would raise 2,500 of that. My expectation is by Christmas I'll do 5,000 by myself. Right? So I would be very honored if you guys do this, and we can go home with none of these.
How many do you have?
How many do I have?
Chris, I need one more bottle, please.
Oh, one only second.
Do you only take 3?
Yeah, I need 4 because you gave me one yesterday.
Yeah, I can. Okay.
I will take 3.
Okay, I'll give you one more. And then I have, there's, so there are 11 here. So, whoever product to get, and I promise you,
It's a
if
spicy
you didn't
hot.
get one today, I would have to do another 60 this week, and I will do another 80 before I go to, yes.
I just donated.
You did?
I did.
Okay, come break your bottle.
And we, it's number 1.
You're gonna have one too? Okay, perfect.
No, everybody, our group.
Everybody in the group? Okay, go grab them before anybody else. That's awesome.
I just make the whole donation.
Sorry, I'm distributing you can send that to everyone, whoever, you send that flyer to whoever. Jake? Right there.
Bỏ cái chai vào cái không.
Thank you, everybody.
Hoặc là lấy hoặc là mình đánh thôi.
Oh, thank you, Reese. That was awesome. All right, we are running really late and we have a full schedule, really full schedule. We gotta get out of here by 1:15 at the latest, okay? So let's get going. I would like for you to come up and introduce our first speaker, please.
Good morning, Talkers.
Good morning.
Everyone had a good time yesterday? Seems like it. Okay. Thanks everyone for making it here so early. And it is my honor to introduce Mr. Binh Doan, Doctor of Law, and he is the founder and chairman of CEO Group, a developer listed in Hanoi Stock Exchange. He is the vice president of Vietnam National Real Estate Association, and he also an author of a book, How to Invest Real Estate in Vietnam, which will be donated to NAR National Association of Realtor Library today, right? Please welcome Mr. Binh.
Okay, we need some help, and someone can move the slide, it's a PDF.
Oh, okay. I can stand here.
No, someone can help that. No.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I can use this one. Okay, possible.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters. Yesterday, all our delegates could not sleep because thanks to your very cozy and warm welcome, all of us, yesterday dinner. So one more time, thank you very much, Joseph, Teresa, and Doan Mastermind members. Thank you very much one more time for Joseph and Teresa to invite me and give me a chance to be in front of you to introduce and update things about our beautiful country, Vietnam. First of all, I would like to introduce you about our Vietnam National Association of Real Estate. Our Association of Real Estate has been founded in 2002. So far, we have 21 member associations and about 2,000 members with all biggest developers, brokers, agents, and especially we also invited politicians from ministries, experts, professors from universities and agencies in Vietnam. So our association is a national association like NAR. This is the national level. And we have all the provinces, associations, and subsidized members. We cover all the services, the development works, and the consultancy works as well. So if you need anything about real estate information, you need any assistance, any help about real estate industry, just contact our associations. Through me also. Yeah, so easy to contact with us. And at the moment, like this? Okay, it's okay? Okay. Yeah, at the moment, our president, Dr. Nguyễn Văn Khối, is he used to be the vice president of Hanoi People Committee. Yes, and about our CEO group, our life, just some information for your reference. Is I founded a CEO group in 2001. Up to now, our group became 22 years old. And our main scope of business is diversified, cover real estate development, including housing, offices, hotel and resorts, and we are going to do the industrial park as well in the next 2 years. And we also have education and services. We also have a construction company to carry out our construction works. And for now, we have 25 companies with more than 2,000 staff. And we listed from the beginning from 2014 in Hanoi Stock Exchange in the name of CEO, and it is always listing in the basket of HNX 30 since then. It means the top 30 best liquidity shares. And up to now, our market cap is about over $500 million. we are always as a member of VNR 500. It is the top 500 biggest private companies in Vietnam. So if you need any information about the market, real estate, and about CEO Group, of course, please contact me. Okay. Besides CEO Group, this time we have our chairman and members from Hanoi Real Estate Club. So please, Mr. Kerr, the chairman, please stand up so that our So if you need to go to Hanoi, the capital city, and you need any help, any assistance about the real estate industry in our capital city, please contact Mr. Kerr. He can help you. And the next one is the REC. This is the Real Estate Development Center. This is the newly established subsidiary member of our association, and the chairman present today. This is Misu, please. Yeah. Thank you. And the last one is the Đắk Lắk Province Real Estate Association. Today the chairman also joins us today. Yeah. And of course, without the logo, but there is some representative from Hanoi National University, Professor Nhung. Please stand up. She is the vice director of our legal department, and she is also professor at Hanoi National University, specialized in teaching laws of housing, laws of land, and law of real estate business transaction in Vietnam. So she's is very actively contributing to the Vietnam Amendment of Law. Yeah, very fast outlook on the economic and real estate market in Vietnam. You know, in the last 2 decades, our GDP of Vietnam is always at about 6 to 7%. But due to the bad impact of COVID-19, and now of course the war between Russia and Ukraine, and our economy is also facing some problem. Of course, this is not our Vietnam, but every country in the world are facing the same problem. So we recently, in 2003, we target 6.5% of the GDP growth. But what we have achieved in the past 10 months, only for over 4%. So this year, we cannot catch what we try to reach, 6.5%, maybe only 5%. But few days ago, the National Assembly decided for the next year, plan for the next year also come up to 6.5%. And secondly, for the import-export, the Vietnam is now a very open economy. We signed almost 20 free trade agreements. They mean we did open our market globally. So the import-export total turnover is almost $600 billion. Our GDP is only $400 billion, but import-export is almost 1.5 times. And importantly, is the trade plus. It is about 25 billion American dollars. It is plus, not minus. This is good for Vietnam. And now the government of Vietnam is trying to pour more investment capital from the state budget in the last 10 months of this year, with the total investment of about $20 billion. For what? For highway, for main infrastructure, for highway, the north-south highway from Hanoi to Ho Chi Minh City. You know, Vietnam now, we have finished just some parts of the highway, but not all the highway from the north to the south, about 2,000 kilometers. But Now we pour the money. We are continue keeping, investing money to finish this in the next few years, so that we can have the total highway from the north to the south. And secondly, for the airport, now we are constructing the Long Thanh International Airport. It is somewhere about 1 hour drive from the Ho Chi Minh City downtown. And this new airport will be targeted in replacing the existing one in the CBD of Ho Chi Minh City. And we would like to bring this airport become regional airport like Singapore, like Bangkok, Hong Kong, for example, so that we can turn this airport not only the connection place for the passengers, but where we can make money. That is the idea of the government of Vietnam. And for the tourism industry, because in Vietnam the tourism it is the major, economic industry. So before COVID-19, we did welcome 19 million foreign travelers. But this year, in the first 9 months, what we have is about 100 million domestic travelers, and we have 10 million foreigners. So this year, we target only 8 million foreigners. But so far, we have the over target. So we hope in the next 1 or 2 years, we can come back with the number of foreign tourists to come to Vietnam as we could reach before COVID-19. So this is very important, because this is one of the channel that bring money to Vietnam. Before COVID-19, our income from foreign tourists and domestic tourists about 10% of the country. It means at that time about 30 billion American dollars. Now, slowly become 40 billion American dollars. So this is very important. That's why I would like to emphasize to you. Among which, from America, about 750,000 travelers only. So just assume that from the United States of America, maybe half. For the FDI, every year we have about, in the next 3 years, about 4 billion American dollars in real estate. And this year, for the first 9 months, only less than 2 billion American dollars. So it means it shows that now every country's economy is facing also problem. So the money, the cash flow normally remain inside those countries. It is not so much to flow out of the country to Vietnam. One more, money channel to Vietnam, this is the remittance. Remittance is very important. Every year, Vietnam receives about 20 billion American dollars, but mostly from the United States of America, from Vietnamese, overseas Vietnamese. So this one is very important. Every year, about from 6 to 10% growth in the remittance inflow of foreign currency to Vietnam. So the next, I would like to update about why investment in Vietnam. So we have 10 points, 10 main points. First is political stability. In Vietnam, as you know, we have only one ruling party. It is the Communist Party. There are no other competitive party. So it makes our political stage is very, very stable. There's no fighting, no other parties competition. So it is make our political stability is very, very special. It's safe for the investor to do investment in Vietnam. Secondly, about development strategy. So Vietnam's strategy to become high income country by 2045. At that time, GDP of Vietnam may be so many times, much more than now. This one showing that we have a target, we have confirmed target to go. This is very important. So we don't have to waste time and waste our resources to choose this and choose that. But we confirm the target we have. So this is very important. And the institution improvement. Of course, the fact is always happening. Life is always goes before the law changing. So now Vietnam economy just started. We have only 30 years of development since 1986, but the real things changed from 1995. At that time, Vietnam started to join ASEAN countries, and at that time, U.S. government lifted embargo on Vietnam. It means at that time, Vietnam was accepted by the whole world to join the same game, international game with other countries. So now we are changing. Once you are the player in international stadium, of course you have to follow the rule, international rule. So a lot of things in institutions of Vietnam is under change. And as I said before, we have very open economy with 17 FTA, free trade agreements, plus 4 under negotiations. Upon on that, 5 countries Vietnam has signed comprehensive partnership agreements, including USA just a few months ago. So now there's very good signal that the international investment flow now started more, and more groups of business and survey tour of business from even USA now come to Vietnam more and more since then. 5, as I said, we have very constant, GDP growth in the past 2-3 decades, from 6 to 8%. On average, about 6.5%. Population, our population reached 200 million persons. Of course, this is too small to United States of America, but don't forget that our territory is over 300,000 square kilometers only. So it makes us, high demand of housing and services. And every year we have 1 more million newborns. This is very important for the middle class. The increased number of middle class help to buy real estate rights. The middle class is very important. This is the main player in our market now, even for the real estate market. And for the urbanization, in Vietnam 1% per year. Now we have the urbanization up to 43% by now, and we target 50% by 2030. And for capital disbursement of public investment, so like I said, we are trying to improve our main infrastructure, including electricity, to meet the demands of the consumption and of manufacturing. And last one is the real estate potential. On global, average, between the total value of real estate to GDP. So for the world ratio is 4 times, and in Vietnam just less than 1 time. So it means our real estate market is still very potential. For the overseas Vietnamese, I often receive many questions about the overseas Vietnamese, do overseas Vietnamese have the right and the same Vietnamese citizen or like the foreigners? So here I would like to confirm that as overseas Vietnamese, you have the same rights as a local Vietnamese citizen in terms of investing into real estate. If the local Vietnamese have the right to have freehold for apartments, okay, of course in the land ownership in Vietnam, it is belonging to the government ownership. No individual, no organization has the right to own the land. But we have the right to own the property on land. So later I will have more details. Okay, and for the overseas Vietnamese and foreigners now, you can have the right to set up 100%, the foreign, ownership. It's not like before, 51%, 49%. So now, it is very easy to start up any businesses in Vietnam, including in the real estate. Of course, in real estate there is some more specific requirements because real estate development, it is always very complicated, not only in Vietnam, but even in United States of America and in all other countries where I visited and I questioned in the last 2-3 years. I've been in over 100 countries to ask many the same questions about the land ownership, about the right for foreigners to own property in Europe country, in Latin America, in Canada, Europe, and many even Asian and African countries. So everywhere for real estate development is also complicated procedures. So if you need any further information about the overseas Vietnamese rights on real estate, also contact me, I can help. Here, for example, in Vietnam, I would like to show you how complicated procedure it is to carry out one project in Vietnam. So here, 10 important factors, like number 1 is you have to choose a good location. Number 2, you should have the clean land, because even you have good location, but you don't have the clean land, you cannot carry out the project. And you cannot control the cash flow. So based on the paper, maybe the project feasibility is okay, but if you cannot control the clean land, all the calculation will be gone. You cannot control it. And for good planning, for good architecture and landscaping design, of course, essential. To the last one is a good management regulation and personnel to operate, the new urban areas. Here, normally to carry out one project in Vietnam, we need 3 stages. First is step 1, preparation, and stage 2 is the construction, and stage 3 is the completion and operation. For the first one, we need from step 1 to step 10. For step 2, we have step 11 to 19, and the last one to 26. It means we have 26 very basic, steps to get out one project in Vietnam. Here, like stage 1 up to step 10, step 2 construction to 19, and step 3 completion and operation to 23. Here is summary to show how complicated one project is. Main step 26, code and law 27, more. Based on my calculation, about 40 codes and laws related to one real estate project execution in Vietnam. Sometimes overlapping from law to law, sometimes complicated, sometimes conflicts. So normally foreigners who want to invest into Vietnam normally would like to shake hands with the local partner, because this law so many, like example. And under the laws, we have many regulations, many circulars as well. Here, like degrees, 87, almost 100. Regulations, almost 1,000. Circulars, 133. Standards, 102. Stamps, about from 100 to 168 stamps. In America, maybe no stamp because signature is the most important. But in Vietnam, besides signature, you give stamp. Without stamp, no meaning. So that's why stamp is important. And how many years? One project normally from 3 to 5 years, sometimes 10 years, sometimes never happen. Here's the main related code and laws. But most important for real estate, it is the civil code and the law on housing, the land law, and the law on real estate business transaction, of course, others as well. So what to invest in real estate in Vietnam for now? Housing, apartment, and landed houses, especially the landed houses. But for the overseas Vietnamese, I heard, and foreigners, normally they like to do investment into the apartment because less money, about 150 to 200,000 American dollars. You can own one apartment in Vietnam. But for the landed houses, but it normally $1 million, like that's America. Of course, in the downtown and some very all-in-one, inclusive, services, new urban areas, quite expensive. The second is the tourism villas and hotels, shop houses. Next is the industrial parks, and the last one is offices. So the chance of investment in offices also huge because due to the impact of the COVID-19 and the war now, offices are empty. So now chance for M&A. If you have money, in good location offices in Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City, why not? It is very good chance now. Or ownership by foreigners. For the land ownership, of course, as I said, it belongs to the government. No one individual organization have the right to own ownership in Vietnam of the land, but the foreigners are allowed to buy and own up to 30% of apartment units and 10% of the landed houses in one commercial housing development project. It means the foreigner can have the maximum ownership of 30% of the apartment units and for 10% of the landed houses. But remember that in commercial housing development projects, it means if you want to buy in the village or in elsewhere, but it's not the commercial real estate project like CEO project or other company who are specialized in developing projects. No, it's not allowed. Only in the new urban areas commercial projects. And how long the foreigners have the right to own the property? Up to 50 years. And of course you can extend. It can be extended once, another 50 years. Here, I would like to strongly emphasize that the overseas Vietnamese have the same right as the local Vietnamese. For the payment plan, for if you buy or you lease one property in Vietnam, so normally the payments can be upon negotiation, but normally 5 or 6 times. But before handing over the certificate, the owner cannot receive more than 95% of the total contract value. For the tax and fee, normally 10% of VAT tax and maybe 0.5% of the registration fee. And of course, as the organization, you will have you have to pay corporate tax in Vietnam 20%. How to pay? Of course, you open a foreign currency account in the bank based in Vietnam. You pour the money in, and you can do the transaction. And how to withdraw investment capital out of Vietnam? Of course, when you buy and you sell, if there is some plus, you can bring out of Vietnam, as long as you pay the taxes. So that's it. I think I would like to say more about our industry, but the time is very limited. Next, after this, we have to move to NAR for the signing the mutual agreement between NAR and our association. So, if you need any further information, please contact me or to Joseph or Binh, down there. Thank you very much for the attention.
Let's have a quick photo. Oh, okay. When come on up. Yeah, they have to go sign something, sign with NAR at 10 o'clock, so we gotta rush out. Just anyone who wants to take a photo with Dr. Binh. Tất cả mọi người sẽ thì còn gì
Can we get a group picture? Can we get a group picture and then, yeah. Did you, Reese, you want to come back? Oh.
Emily Layton. Okay. For this book,